Warning: this program may contain visuals that might offend sensitive viewers. Parental guidance is advised. Every 3 hours, a woman is killed in Mzansi. Gender-based violence is a huge problem, and our government says they are working on eradicating it. But for the women of Mzansi, they feel that change is not happening fast enough.
Bebonje ngibingelele athi mama kaHlengiwe ngiyacela bandla manje ngicela niphuthume la hlala khona uHlengiwe.
When I realized ukuthi umuso osevenini, then I realized ukuthi hayi umntwana akasekho.
The deepest pain was we knew ukuthi lo muntu umuntu njani.
We're supposed to protect abantu besifazane, but babulala at blank points.
Iyasho ukuthi daddy do this and this to mommy.
We cannot continue in this fashion whereby we kill women in our country.
As Mzansi, we were just celebrating Women's Month in the midst of a global pandemic. For most, it was a dark month. Instead of putting women on pedestals, we were placing them in graves. This is fast becoming a usual sight. This disgusting surge in gender-based violence and femicide is in itself becoming another pandemic that the country is battling with, and we cannot continue in this fashion. On the 3rd of August, the Msimango and Kumane families woke up to sad news of the unfortunate killing of their beloved daughter, 29-year-old mother of 2, Hlengiwe Msimango. She was brutally shot, allegedly, by her 33-year-old fiancé, Musa Ntsibande.
There was a neighbor, Oguyena was phoned, a guy. After 6, because I was busy, we were preparing ugemsebenzini. So when I was busy ironing for ubaba ugemsebenzini, nam mina ribe fortunately nga ayina the previous day. So mangi busy ayina kungeni call. Guess the number, but I had to answer. Bebonje ngibingelele athi mama kaHlengiwe ngiyacela bandla manje ngicela niphuthume la hlala khona uHlengiwe. How? Sebenze njani? Hayi manje na khona ukuvelile. Yini kuveleni? Hayi sebedubulene. Ngithi banodubule bani? Athi mama ngeke ngikwazi ukukutshela manje ngicela ufike ngicela niphuthume nize la uHlengiwe bahlala khona. Athi hayi okay siyezwa ke.
A day before the appearance.
No one ever wants to receive a startling call like this so early in the morning. Hlengiwe's aunt and uncle rushed to Hlengiwe's home, which she shared with her fiancé and children.
Masifika khona sifika like indlu isekhondoniwe. We were unable to go inside the house. We had to wait outside ngoba basaba kona ukuthi sizo contaminate the scene.
When did you realize ukuthi kule scene the victim eyakho ngani?
I think at the time we were not sure ukuthi ubani odubulo omunye. So maybe sivulela even like on the side and then ngibona umusa. Immediately I knew ukuthi okay lo lele lapha ngaphakathi uHlengiwe.
Yaphatha kanjani le nto?
I was shocked. That's when I walked away in fact. When I realized ukuthi umusa osevenini, then I realized ukuthi hayi umntwana akasekho.
I don't know why I set up a carriage. Yokokhuluma nomusa. In fact ngaziyela mina evenini. So amaphoyisa angibona ngiyele evenini. So now ngitshela ukuthi mhlambe ngizokwazi ukuvula isicaba. So naliphoyisa libelinga ngazi ukuthi ngubani. So mase ngithi ephoyiseni ngisacela ukukhuluma nomusa. Instead ukuthi angivulele ngala. azama ukuvula umnyango lo ngathi ngicela ungawuvula ngoba ngazi ngizomenzani mase angivulele la eceleni ngithi mina ngizokhuluma naye ngifuna ukwenza next akukhuphuleke lento yakho ye-wind ngikhulume-ke naye ngithi Musa ngicela ungitshele nje ukuthi kwenzakaleni yini kwenze njani aqala ukuthi ngiyaxolisa mama akhaya but that's crocodile tears because the tears were not coming out ngithi Musa ngicela ungitshele athi manje ngiyaxolisa ngimbolile unkosikazi wami ngithi why tell me why qamba manga ke because I'm not taking his story on a serious note
Sithini isitori sakhe?
othi estorini uhlengiwe wamvusa wathi uzwa abantu bekhuluma ngaphandle waphuma waya ngaphandle mephuma ngaphandle akaboni umuntu wabuyela back endlini mebuyela back endlini abone inansika abone umuntu ongale bona isithunzi ngale kwekhethini amenze kuyakhanya manje ngabo 5 ubona isithunzi kanjani because kuyakhanya endlini.
You would not be wrong if you think you've heard the story before. Oscar Pistorius also claimed to have mistaken his girlfriend Riva Steenkamp for an intruder and shot her dead through a locked bathroom door.
Istory engazange ngikwazi usikholwa because the other thing engayibuza amaphoyisa ukuthi is the firearm licensed? But yeah, it's licensed. Then immediately in my mind, okay, he received firearm training. Because with firearm training, there are steps before you pull a trigger. So somebody who has received training, you can just not pull a trigger endlini. Kukhona ingane nonkosikazi. And now again istory se-intruder lela winda khuluma ngalo line-burglar ngaphandle lela wind kunama-burglars kuloya muzi so nje I couldn't believe istory sakhe his version. The issue of the letter.
Ubaba Nkumane says he and his wife, once the police were done processing the crime scene, asked to see where their beloved child took her last breath.
Basivumele singene nomama mesimthola lapha kuyilalele khona babesivulela ibhodi iwindi le nekhetini it's like lilapha then there is a bed la yena ulele la enyaweni zombhede on the side facing the wall because uma ungena kuleyandlu ungena ekitchini udlule lounge then kune passage ephumela ebedroom. Okay, so nje ubekalele facing the wall on the side, on her left side, and ubekalimele la on the chest. That's where benegazi khona on the chest, and the carpet was also blood stained. On the bed, ilinen ibisanjalo umbhede ungandluliwe, and also ilinen was also blood stained. Curtain, there was nothing on the curtain, nothing at all on the curtain. I don't know which amaphoyisa atholeni kwi-curtain, but i-curtain looked untouched. And the other part which was odd, bona boy-2, they were still wearing their clothes. Which I found odd. Even a neighbor, when we arrived, we arrived there on the scene, Gaboma 7. He was still wearing pajamas, morning shoes, and gown. But the two of them, they were in their clothes. Which raised questions, which
There's no way that is a sight any parent would love to see.
Look, from that time, angizazi ukuthi ngafika kanjani emnyango. I just don't know. Ababekhona abangitshelayo ukuthi how
she couldn't take it. Bengimbambile siphuma naye emnyango. Ngoba one of the police officers, a female, waze waphuma namanzi endlini anoshukela wamphuzisa. the way waba affected ngakhona ukubona the body inside wazamphuzisa amanzi sesingaphandle she was affected. It took a while before she could compose herself again, which I was process of what was happening.
One thing we must keep in mind is that while the incident happened, there were young kids in the house.
Ukusho ukuthi uneighbor lo wasifonela sathi masifika ngabuza ukuthi bapha abantwana athi hayi abantwana bathathile bakwakhe so uthi nje wathi efika wesifeni wavele wathatha abantwana wabasana le before kube uyaqhubeka ngaqhubeka ngakho ngoba sama lapho ngathi angifuni ukubabona abantwana ngizobabona mase sibathatha after sesingenile sabona ukuthi kwenzakalani but anyway we knew ukuthi akasekho Hlengiwe because uadmithile vele
Sizwe ngoneighbor nathi ukuthi umntwana lo mdala unkanyiswa
uyena ubonile
leyo part sizwe ngoneighbor ukuthi umntwana lo mdala wabona when this incident happened.
So it's been days after this incident. Uthini umntana?
Hayi uyakhuluma na sham. Angithi lena ngishoyo mina ke nje since that day ngasho ngathi lona ma usazokhuluma iqiniso amfunanga ukukhuluma naye because wathi luke exolisa engitshela ngathi must okay fine.
Like a lot of parents, they were not aware of any abuse in Hlengiwe's relationship with Umusa.
On my side, I mean, I wasn't aware at all if there were any problems. There was one incident in the, that Mama became aware of Yona. I think we are not going to
Look, Hlengiwe, as I say, akusiyena umntwana okhulumayo. You have to dig makhuluma naye. Nje akazwana ukukhuluma, akazwana umsendi. But leyo owangitshela, ngamtshela ukuthi ngizoza. Wesanda kuthola umntwana. Wathi ma umusa usenomkhuba ongalala ekhaya. Ubuya ngakusasa. Umusa usena extramarital affairs. But he's denying it. So ngathi okay fine ngizofika ke ngafika mangifika vele umusa was not there wayehambe the previous night eye ku funeral so mase buya ubuya vele sengikhona endlini ngilapha endlini ukuzothola kahle ukuthi kahle kahle kwenzakalani so bangihlezi lapho angena umusa hours later ngifikile cishe ngaboma 1 after 1 bese ngithi Musa njengoba ngila ngizokhuluma ngoba nami uHlengiwe kunendaba angitshele yona akekho happy ngayo njengoba ufika manje uHlengiwe ungitshela ukuthi asalala ekhaya so ngizolungisa into efana nalezo that was it wathula kangabe sangiphendula ngaze ngahamba akazange aphuma ekamereni so it's like mase sizwa ngabangani it's like kusho ukuthi umusa wengafuni indaba zabo ziphumele ngaphandle but yena wethu mene problem noHlengiwe wekwazi ukukhuluma naye.
Saturday, the 8th of August, a memorial service was held in honor of Hlengiwe's life. We got a chance to speak to those that held her dear to their hearts.
She was a sister to me. In fact, she was a best friend. She was very kind and super protective, especially when it comes to me. She would even fight my battles. Like, I'm funny like anytime. I know she'll be there. She'll pick up the phone, she'll text. She'll always go an extra mile. She was strong. One thing about her, she was very strong. She was my strength. Everything. I'm a conversation with you, especially I'm a phone call. They'll end with "love you, wifey," and then be like "love you, hubby."
Oh, because she was amazing. Oh, she was so amazing. Like Ushem, it's like we had the same sense of style, and she was so protective. She was so protective. Like ubecabangela abantu more than herself, you know. And she used to like she was so compassionate. She was a person who expresses emotions. And ubethanda ukubambana. Her hugs were not just like normal hugs. uNkulunkulu, I feel even if ephile isikhathi esifishane, I wouldn't say she fulfilled all her purposes in life, but uhle uyidlalile indima yakhe shame. Like uyidlalile indima yakhe to a lot of people. Wherever she goes, she will touch a life. You know, wherever she goes, ubuzo uyizwe present yakhe, and you will actually want to see more of her again. You know, she was amazing.
Katie Swart, Hlengiwe's ex-boss and friend, tells us of an incident that happened in her store where Hlengiwe once worked.
So there was a man, she was the most beautiful girl and she was very striking, and a man would come and visit her and just pop in and say hi, and she obviously told her fiancé about this man, and he came and sat at the shop with his gun all day waiting for this man to come, and that he didn't come and say hi to her that day. He came the next day, and I happened to be there. And I said to him, please don't come back here because you will get into trouble. It's dangerous, and please don't ever come back here. It's a ladies' clothing shop, and you don't need to be here. And I didn't think much of it at the time. I thought he was just possessive, and she seemed happy. But when I look back now, I mean, I wish I'd done more.
Mina nomakhosi, we never liked Umusa. And Yanuhle looked very happy in a relationship. So we decided to mina nomakhosi sizoyenza isikhathi and try to source out like do you really want this, you know? Because when she met Umusa, bekahlala nami ekhaya. So somehow ngifila ngathi if azange ngaze ngamthatha ukuthi asihlale nami ekhaya ngabe ukhona lana, like ngaba kukho konke lokho.
She actually tried by all means ukuthi ngizohlala naye. She'd always be like, Sisi, wozohlala nami, wozohlala nami, and all that. And but Umusa, I was not close to the guy because he never liked me, because I think we cannot get along, and I just saw ukuthi he's not good for my sister. Mina no Tuli, we always, whenever we meet, we always say, Tuli, we need to tell Ushe, this guy is not good for, and she knows a lot of things about the guy, you know. So our last conversation, ngangate senkhulumile with umyeni wakhe, and but no, I can come stay with them. Not ukuthi nganginenkinga nami ngaleyo ndlela, but I think she also needed protection or someone from the family, or someone also around her whenever like izinto arises, because you wouldn't know if she was going through something or like there was a problem. But ube umuntu, like I think ngoba like ebengipusha for me ukuthi ngizohlala naye was actually like it was maybe a way of saying I need help, but I'm not really saying I need help, but at least mawuzoba khona mhlambe izinto ingaba ngcono, you know. And yeah.
Was there any sign of her trying to leave? Or?
We had a conversation where she was like, wifey, I'm tired of this, like, and all, you know. And then I was like, oh, okay. And then what must happen now? Because I also didn't want to judge her, so that azokwazi to open up. Like our friendship was that friendship ukuthi fanele khulume, and then nami I'll talk when my turn comes. So sakhuluma ukuthi okay, fine. So now the problem, because she was a loving person and she was very kind, akazange zakhona ukuthi agcine ahambile, because she was supposed to take the kids ahambe. So there was the stepson bekangeke ahambe naye because she was trying to live the relationship. So I think that's one thing that made her not to leave.
I had a dream about what happened right now. I told Ote, I had a bad dream, but I never thought that I saw. I feel so bad, I don't know, like, I wish I had done something that time.
Hlengiwe's loved ones take us back to the moment they heard the devastating news.
On that day, ngithole a missed call from Uzola because I was preparing for work. I was just I'll text them and figure I'm And then on my way, I was on Allendale Road, and then Uzola uyafona uyakhala Zola yini. I thought ukuthi unkanyiso. I didn't even like Hlengiwe didn't come to mind, and then uthi nenkinga la ngicabanga ukuthi unkanyiso. Ngiba like kwenze njani no right unkanyiso. Uba like yeah unkanyiso u right. Uma usudubula uHlengiwe. Angazi ukuthi ngenzeni lapha yana estradeni. I parked. Ngaphuma emotweni ngabuyela ngastart imoto ngaphuma. Now I couldn't stand, and then I called my boyfriend wangiletha ke esinini. When I get there bengafuna ukukhala. I wanted to be strong for everyone because I wanted to embody uHlengiwe and be strong for everybody, because I think it was me, she was going to be strong for my family. Mangifika umama kahle mageza kimi athi uyangibona ngifuna ukukhala uyafika uright sis. Ngima like ngiright man nina right wangibamba because bese ngiyami ebondeni like I couldn't stand, I was shaking. Wangibamba wangenza ka so. And then that's when I started crying when she shook me. Akhala, and then Numa Wati, I'm sorry about your sister, because that's what she was.
She was very brave. I think that she managed to face everything head on. But as for being strong, I'm surprised that I'm standing here in front of all of you.
To my surprise, I was very brave because but say mabamfaka on that plastic thing, bazomfaka kule moto le forensic. Bese ngihleli phansi. I stood up. Angazini ngibambile because bengifuna ukubamba plastic and feel ukuthi uhle like lo muntu bengikhuluma naye izolo. Ngimbonile on Friday. Last week besambile ngimkhaphila ayothenga igrocer. Like it didn't add up, it didn't make sense. Bengikhuluma naye izolo ebusuku beka right. And then what happened then? Yabo. And at that time I'm expecting a phone, like a text, morning wifey. Like noma ngihleli lapha I'm busy ngicheck ifone yami ukuthi yazi lento le maybe akusiyo yabo. But yeah,
I'm absolutely devastated. She didn't deserve this. She had 2 beautiful children, and I wish I'd just been able to do more and could have stood up for her.
My brother's wife from back at home in KZN, uyangfonela uthi makhosi how uyazizwa indaba. I'm like, indaba zani manje? And then she's like, oh no, you don't know. Ngithi mina, no, what are you talking about? Athi no, ngengikwazi ngithi you better tell me now because already usungitshelile yabo. And then I cannot tell you because ubhuti wakho ungitshelile nje, and it wasn't bengithi usuyazi wena yabo. And then I'm like, Cindy, you better tell me now. And then she asked me, Uti, what kind of a person was umnyeni kaHlengiwe? Oh, Kosam, ngathi mina. Ngathi Cindy, please tell me what is happening. What's wrong with uHle? And then angitshela ukuthi uHle udutshule umnyeni wakhe. If angitshela lokho, I'm like, okay, usesibhedlela, ne? Yeah. I'm like, okay. I knew Guti this might end like this, but usesibhedlela, she's fine, right? Athi makhosi uHle akasekho. Oh. Everyone that was just sihlangene. The deepest pain was we knew ukuthi lo muntu njani. This, it could have ended like this, or something worse could have happened ubengahlanganisa nengane if sibonga ukuthi nje the kids are still alive.
Uhlelo lenkosi ngingothi aslazi. I didn't know ukuthi I'd be planning your memorial service, we'd be planning your funeral. Kubuhlungu. Phethe ngicela Hlengiwe la ukhona. Ngicela usinxusele enkosini ukuthi sikwazi ukukhulisa ingane zakho sikwazi ukukhulisa unkanyiso nophila sand sibanikeze lo luthando obunalo.
We spoke to Patricia Naha from POA, an organization established to help and shelter women experiencing domestic violence.
Okay, POA offers psychological counseling, we offer sheltering, we advocate. When I say advocate, when one goes to court, we are there, we do follow-ups on your court case, we want to find out what is happening. We also do outreach, we do awareness, that to alert women, to give them more information about gender-based violence. Because of some, they are in abusive relationships, they don't even know. So basically at POA, those are the 4 things that we are doing. And empowering women, also those who are at the shelters. Because of some, you find that the perpetrator, the person who's abusing them, financially is abusing them. So when they get to the shelters, we are able to empower them with skills that when they leave the shelters, they are able to generate their own money.
Patricia says as POA, they have seen an unfortunate trend on most of these cases.
We notice that most cases are being neglected. The perpetrators, they come out. Most of Tembisa cases is, in fact, within our surrounding. You find out at the end of the day the perpetrator is out. We don't even know what happened. The family, they don't even know what happened to the case. They're still waiting for answers. So that's why, as Paul, we said, we need to be involved. We need to find out. We need to be there for the family and also help them in terms of counseling, because of at this time the families have so many questions, and others, they might start blaming themselves but at some point she did mention that she wants to leave the relationship, but they didn't know what advice to give them. So as POA, that's why we are so involved in this, and to make sure that we get justice for Hlengiwe.
In most cases, there are early warning signs of an abusive partner.
I always say that in the first 2 months or 3 months in a relationship, already you can pick up the signs, because of the perpetrators are very controlling. They have, and power. It's one of the influence in an abusive relationship. The person will want to control you. The person, if they are financially stable, they want to have power over you. So as umuntu wesifazane, you need to be alert. You need to look out for such signs that someone being over possessive over you, wanting to tell you ukuthi so you are at home. Emotional abuse words. Uyislima, uyisdwedwe. Such they speak. Once a person who says they love you and they start calling you, it must hit hard. How can you call that but you say you love me? Financially, you want to control my money. Financially, you want to take my cards. Financially, you don't even want ukuthi ngithathe imali yakho. Physically, you start, one club can lead to a feast. After feast, share. What's going to happen next? You want to sleep with me, Ngenkani. When I say no, I'm tired, you force yourself on me. So those are the signs that abantu besifazane, they must look out for, and they must come and they must speak out, and in most instances, victims, they do want to come out, they do want to speak, but they're afraid because of Tina. We want to see abajaja. Most women who come to the shelters or who come for counseling, they will tell you that I was afraid to speak, because of so our families, they need to be supportive. When I come to you and I say ungishayile, ungathi buyela kuzolunga, seek help for that person. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are on Twitter, we have our offices within Gauteng. There are other organizations too that help with gender-based violence.
Friday the 14th of August, the Msimango, Gumane and Zibande families said their final farewell to their beloved daughter in her place of birth in KZN. How does one let go? How do you make peace with such when your child's life was brutally cut short?
njengoba manje ukhala kangana uzophatheka kabi yaphenduka bheke emuva ukuthi ubhuti wami uyakhala ukhathazekile. Lehle kubuhlungu kakhulu, siyazi buhlungu.
Ibuhlungu lento eyenzekile. I think umgulukudu is an understatement. It's a pity because simbone. We're looking forward to meet this guy. We're very happy. Masizwa kuthiwa engage uHlengiwe. Unfortunately, ujabula kwethu bekuyize. Bekunani Thamiyeke ongcono. Bekunani. Suba namahloni nokuba umuntu wesilisa phambi kwabantu besifazane. We are very disappointed and we wish to pass our condolences to umndeni kaMsimango wonke uphelele. Nathi kwaziba nesibhlungu. Akazi ukuphola. Saba nokubona ingane, abazukulu asazi sothini. We supposed to protect abantu besifazane but babulala at blank point. Kwenza uyibona ungathi useless umuntu besilisa. Siyaxolisa kakhulu sabantu besilisa nabantu besifazane. Siyaxolisa kakhulu. Akumelanga sihlangane kanje. Kuyiphutha elikhulu sihlangane kanje ngomuntu omusha bese nekusasa elihle. Kodwa ube khona ubona ngcono athatha impilo yakhe.
Mangingene Nkosi yami mangingene Nkosi yami.
So lento yahle ingilimaze kakhulu indlela ashone ngayo as umuntu ube nothando kakhulu. So umusa usilimaze kakhulu ukuthi angaze ambulale kabuhlungu kanje because le story ashoyo asizwa kahle ukuthi bethi isigebengu. If bekuyisigebengu why engaqala check umndeni wakhe ukuthi uright wonke ngaphakathi endlini mase yenza lento afuna ukuyenza. Why avela dubule nje. So ngalokho nje ngithanda ukudlulisa amazwi kubantu besilisa ezabantu besilisa ukuthi if ubona ukuthi umuntu wesifazane khona into akudine ngayo just walk away. Umshiye kanjalo hambe yokalma down mase yabuya nixoxisana. Ungathathi ama decision ahash because ekugcineni uzoyenza into ebuhlungu emndenini wakhe. Since lo muntu obeneyingane ezincane ezo2 ushiya ingane na 8 months washiya ingane na 3 years. So lezo ingane seyiseli manje ayinama nobaba nakekho ngoba usejele. So esikufisayo ukwazi kumusa ukuthi lento ayenzile uyenziswe yini ukuthi why ethathe le decision yokuthi akhiphe umphefumulo umuntu ongananqana umuntu onenhliziyo enhle, umuntu obethi mangabe ekhuluma nawe njalo ekugcineni mase kuqeda inkulumo yakhe athi njalo ngiyakuthanda bhuti wami.
Iyona pain ebuhlungu kakhulu masibona izingane zakhe eshiye izingane zakhe ezincane kangaka. Siyazibuza siyaziphendula ukuthi ngalesikhathi enza lento ade yenza umusa lo omenzi walento bengasadabukeli nezingane endlini ngoba phela nezingane bezikhona enza lento. Even le ncane yentombazane mayidlala ama toys idlala ngaleyo nto iyasho ukuthi daddy do this and this to mommy. So nje kubuhlungu.
Kona it was very emotional ukubona umntwana a 3-year-old felt into umuntu omdala angeke akwazi ukuyi-accommodate emdala. A 3-year-old ingafuni ukusuka kwi-graveside because engafuni ukushiya umama akhe lapha. When bethi bayamthatha, I had to intervene and explain to her ukuthi sisi we angeke sikwazi ukuhamba nomama ngoba umama uselele laphana angeke sakwazi ukumbona, so yasomvisita uma ngabe sihamba siyombona. And kuyena I know akuregister ngendlela ofanele kuregister ngakhona because even right now she's still having those questions engakwazi ukuwaphendula.
On the 18th of August, Mosansi Bande, Hlengiwe's alleged killer, appeared at the Kempton Park Magistrates Court for his bail application. He appeared via the audiovisual remand system due to the lockdown regulations. Hlengiwe's family was not allowed in court.
Unfortunately, in light of the current pandemic and the regulations imposed by it, it is something that the courts are doing so as to just manage risk. They are trying to protect all members of the public, so although, it's not fair to the family members to not be present at court, it's very much a risk management process that they are following, and they're limiting court only to the legal representatives and to the accused persons as well as possible witnesses, but that's it.
Attorney Vanessa da Silva Farai reported back to the family that Musa had abandoned his bail application and was remanded in prison.
Normally a person would abandon bail in a matter like this where a person's not comfortable to confirm or stick to a version of what transpired without being aware of the evidence presented against him. And at this stage he is not entitled to know the investigation or the evidence presented against him, so he's only aware of the fact that he's been charged with murder and the pointing of a firearm. And I would assume that the reason why Bannon was a bail is because he's not comfortable in confirming a version that suits what he's been charged.
So this could be a defensive move more than anything.
It could be, and he could be trying to protect himself as to whatever version he tries to put out there. But I think must be said for the fact that he's not willing to put out a version already, especially if he believes that he's actually innocent and hasn't committed an offence. Normally, an accused person who believes he's innocent and who sticks to the truth would have already by now put up some version and would certainly not have abandoned bail.
While at the court, we were informed of another senseless killing of a woman in Ivory Park. Dorcas Nes Ratogana was dosed in paraffin and put on fire, allegedly, by her boyfriend.
Angazi cause mina mengisekhaya ematheni ngafonela bomakhelwane abanama-number phone wami bangitshela ukuthi woza umfazi wamalume akho uyasha. Ukuza kwami ngapha ngacela angihlala nabo ukuthi bangikhaphe ngize ngapha. Ngathola ukuthi nje velayo ushile. Ngafike ngangena ngamthola hlele embhedeni khona la ekamereni lakhe. Azangikhulume nix naye. Vele ngambheka ngakhala cause into dewe bekangakhona vele bekungajabulisi. Bekashile man yo la ebusweni enhloko.
Mama remembers his sister fondly.
Nese ke mtsiba ile motho ile reng a rata ditshele. Nese o rata o tsheya o rata di jokes ke motho nje wa never mind. Wa sa tshwenyane ngwana le kutlwele botlhoko mo mothong mo. Mara ile rena wa tlhoka but motho mo una sanya gore a tlhoke.
Ka kitso ya lona ke mawo mo tshitseng.
Na ke utlwa ditaba ba rochiste ke boyfriend just because ne ba le thuka mo ntlo. Ene ba re ba thumile ka holwa pele ka bo manai. So ba khalimela bo baqashi ba hae ba khalimela a gopela tshwarelo ena a buto a ra ba taba e fedile. Okay ba shapa tsena ka ntlo. No na le ngwana mo ne ba dula le ena ba thoma fotse balo ngwana ola aba a tshaba gopela marobalo ka mo a usimo mo ba mtlwaetse bona ba sala ba le two. From there a ke tsore ba qabana o fitla kae mo ile re ga buto o bone re nona tse parafini a motshele ka yona a mo chisa ore nna ke bila ele gore ke yena ke kwatsitse gore motho a ka se che di le thuka mo ntlo wa palla go modima wa dula wa emela gore a tlobulela ke batho ba batlang go gole setse a skrima le ko mnyako a palla ke o bula batla
ngithe ngimbuza vele nje angikuthi ngiphenduleni nje awukhulume nje into engingayi-understand because nami ngisengithukile nje ngimbuza ukuthi kanti kwenzakalani ngoba bekaphithizela laba chanyela amanzi ngoba labe bazama ukucima ngawo la because bese kushe kunesofa elishile la
gore ke bile ka kwata mara ka tlhoka matla ka re a butola gore o nkwatisitse mo ile reng o ka se re motho a tšha o na le yena wena o palla go modimo wa tlo bolela maka mo bathong wa re o thomile re story sa ne sa tlhakana re ke hit but hit le lena shile a ibona a ina nix so ka grelo re a ke tso re nka etsang ka re le mphakathi le ba motlwetse pila ba motlwetse ka no ra a ona taba mara se sana ke ena mchiste ke mon ko ICU na go betsness na go betse too much mo le reng mo sa dineng setse ke tshaba lo mo lebella gore ke feel pain but ba itsa ba mphone la go hospital ba rawa ha boya ko theater ya mafello ka re ya mathomo o ile a boya a le right ye ya mafello ba re founela ba rai e tlang ka pela so nna ka re ne setse ke mmele wa ka o sa tlholosa gona ka romela ngwana wa ka a ya mmona a boya rai mama se se ne sa ka sloke.
August 15th, nurse lost the battle and succumbed to her injuries.
E nkutlwisa botlhoko ka re a se yena fela ke batho ba bantši ba re ba bonang le mo di-TV ba bolaya ke batho ba bolaya setlhogo so a ke re banong o ka se kgethe o ka se tsebe gore monna o mo right ko mofeng o mo wrong ko mofeng.
Re utlwile taba tse bohloko ba re nese yena o re šiile re utlwile taba tse bohloko ba re
With all these senseless killings, a group of young black men from Ivory Park decided to take a stand and say enough is enough.
What inspired us is that females cannot fight the struggle of gender-based violence themselves, while in most cases, they are the ones who are being victimized. So as 5 males from Ivory Park, we know Ivory Park is an informal settlement whereby even our sisters are being killed. You'll find it's difficult to even call the media to come here. And some of these cases, they are not even recorded. Some of these cases, they are not even taken serious by the police. You just hear that the police say, no, the docket is missing, and then which means we'll be waiting for further investigation. But already he has told you that the docket is missing. But from us is that we say, as males, we can change this struggle than women who are in front, but still, even when they are in front, they're still being victimized. At least us as males coming forward to say, guys, let's change our attitude as male towards females. Maybe we can do something in our community.
Baledi Castro Moropa is chairperson of the newly formed Break the Chain of Pain Against Women and Children, an organization formed to lend a helping hand to victims of femicide and gender-based violence.
I'll say in Ivory Park, we emerged from the past of apartheid, have collapsed most of us in terms of education. So the people of Ivory Park, they are not even familiar with these things of courts. Your child just be killed here and then you don't even do follow-ups. So in this organization, most of us here, we are unemployed graduates who, some of us who are, we have studied laws at school, others social work, and others media communications. So what we'll be doing will be with families and then following every case. Where we see an element of corruption in terms of the case, we'll approach other organizations which will be dealing with these issues like IPID, for example, to say, guys, we've got this case in Ivory Park and then we've been following, but suddenly they're saying the docket is missing. When you go to police station, the police will tell you, no, stop coming here. These people will end up killing you, which means there was money here to see the docket missing. So we want to address that element. For now, the organization that we have identified to be dealing with these issues of this nature is IP, whereby when they say to us a docket is missing, we won't hesitate to go to IP and say to them, guys, this is the situation in Ivory Park. And every day when the family go to police station to inquire about the case of their daughter, they are being threatened that, guys, coming here, it will encourage those who are involved in this missing docket to kill you. That's what we are getting from these police stations.
And that doesn't scare you?
Well, I don't think if you are ready and determined to fight a genuine cause like this one, you'll be scared or threatened by death. Why should you be threatened? Well, the person just next to you might be killed tomorrow and then nothing happens. Most of the people whom we know, they've been killed. Our sisters, our mothers, they've been killed. Why should we be scared as male to confront this situation? Even if we have been killed or sent to jail, we don't care. We'll still fight this struggle wherever we'll be. Our soul will fight even in death. No one is going to threaten us with death.
Mzansi has a femicide epidemic. The violent death rate amongst women and children is nearly 5 times the global average and is the 4th highest female death rate in the world. While working on this story, a lot of women died in the hands of men in this country. Asitandile Kwasa Lugalo, a Vert student, was stabbed to death by her then boyfriend. She was only 19 years old. Chilidzi Masasa was brutally raped and killed by a man in Ivory Park on the 24th of August. Smangele Ndlovu from Ivory Park was stabbed to death allegedly by Nico Dlamini for having had a fight with his girlfriend. She was only 27 years old.
Enough is enough. We have had enough. We cannot continue in this fashion whereby we kill women in our country. Women are the future of this country. For me to stand here as a male, I came out of a womb of a woman. So why should we treat a woman as a crime scene for us? Most of these cases of gender-based violence and abuse, you'll find they are inspired by alcohol. We as male, once we get drunk, we start to demand things that when our couples say, no, I'm not ready now, you want to force yourself on her, and then you end up having cases such as these ones of killings. So we're saying to them they must stop. Enough is enough, and join the cause to fight the dark cloud of gender-based violence.
Viwe Dalingozi was dosed in petrol and satellite allegedly by her boyfriend Mpho Tobani on the 25th of October 2018. She died 2 days later in hospital. This murder case is still ongoing. How much slower will the hands of justice move on this case? If Viwe's case is anything to go by, will all the other cases of femicide also see a slow-moving justice system?